Man, let's go ahead and do this. Um, I didn't think we was ever going to be here. I'm gonna be honest. I knew it was gonna happen one day because, as well, let's first do it. I'm late as always. How y'all doing today? I'm an Atlanta Hawks fan. I've been an Atlanta Hawks fan my whole life. I've went through the pain, the suffering, the agony of being an Atlanta Hawks fan. So I've been through the ups, the downs, and not a lot of ups. But I am a very logical and reasonable person. I like to break down the game, and even when it comes to my fan base, during the games I'm extremely emotional. If you follow me on Twitter, you can see sometimes I make a no emotional take. So it's like when people try to spin the block on me and use old tweets on me, it doesn't really work because it's like, hey, look at the game time. That was during the game time. So lately I've really tried to chill on like the live game tweets and just try to be more of like an analyst, even when it comes to breaking down my team. But when it comes to Trae Young, it's hard. It's hard. Trae Young has been on the Atlanta Hawks for 8 years of my life. When Trae Young got drafted, did not watch his rookie year because I stopped watching the NBA because Kevin Durant went to the Warriors around that time and they was dominating the NBA. And I only watched the NBA Finals because I could not handle the fact that the Warriors was just gonna win at the end of the season. But I tuned in like I got back into the NBA and I tuned very back into the Atlanta Hawks and the Atlanta Hawks, they mean everything to me. And Trae Young as my superstar, I've went through wars. I've went through wars for them. But if you follow me on Twitter, you've seen recently I've always said the Atlanta Hawks need to trade Trae Young. And the reason why I've always said the Atlanta Hawks need to trade Trae Young, because I don't think winning with a small guard in the NBA is the easiest path possible. We've seen it before. We've seen it with Chris Paul's number one. Oh my God, we've seen it with Steph Curry, Isaiah Thomas back in the years. Like we haven't really seen a number one option small guard lead a team to success. It's just like we've seen late pushes from Chris Paul in the playoffs. Like he got to the NBA Finals with the Phoenix Suns, couldn't finish it off. That was a winnable series, but that's beyond the point. We've seen, and he was even the number one option at that time. It's just extremely hard. And Atlanta Hawks had a time with when we played against Milwaukee Bucks and Trae Young Curtis injured. And I truly believe the Atlanta Hawks could have won the championship that year. I don't think the Atlanta Hawks was a championship team, but due to the fact that it was the Phoenix Suns in the finals, I think that was a winnable series for us. I think Trae Young would have dominated Aiden in drop coverage. I don't know if there was going to be that was a time when Trae Young was at the peak of his athleticism. He was blowing. You couldn't what's happening to Trae Young now, you couldn't do that to him. He was gonna blow past you. He was too quick, and once he got you on your backside, you were gonna foul him. Like putting a bigger size guard or wing on Trae Young used to be a mistake because Trae Young was way too quick. He would blow past these players, but with the lower body injuries and stuff like that, it was like, yo, like we have to trade this guy. And the deal was Atlanta Hawks traded Trae Young for CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert. The biggest thing I've seen on Twitter was no picks, no picks, no picks, no picks, bro. If you keep up with, I feel like that's the casual take. I feel like that's the national media. You listen to Kendrick Perkins, you listen to DeMarcus Cousins. Shout out to all those old veterans, but like that's just the casual take. If you kept up with the news, there was news saying the Atlanta Hawks might have to give someone a pick to get Trae Young, bro. Like you have to give a pick up to get Trae Young, like to take in Trae Young. Trae Young is on an expiring contract, so whatever team he did get traded to, you can't just like trade him to anyone because whatever team he does get traded to, he could just leave. So that turns teams off. He's a small guard with lower body injuries with his MCL injury right now, is Achilles tendonitis that he had last year. So the burst in his speed is lower. He's one of the worst defensive players in the league. And then, even though there's a lot of fake narratives about him, but like they'll still attach to you as people call him a tyrant, a dictator, stuff like that. Yeah, like Atlanta Hawks fans and me, myself on Twitter, calling him a dictator for troll was not did not help his stock at all. People see these things, but in all seriousness, Trae Young was one of the ones in Atlanta. Like he was our leader. He was our biggest superstar we've had in Atlanta Hawks jersey since Dominique. Shout out to Joe Johnson, Josh Smith, Jeff Teague, all those players, all those Al Horford, Paul Millsap, all those All Stars, but nobody was bigger than Trae Young. Mutombo, nobody has been bigger than Trae Young. Maybe Mutombo because it's just the international, but like Trae Young had the swagger, he had the finesse, He talks shit. The Knicks series, I'll never give the Vegas run even last year. People even forget about that. Trae Young in the playing, some of them playing games against Cleveland, he was amazing. And I'm really just making this video just to explain like how much he really meant to the Atlanta Hawks franchise. Like this is a guy that was averaging 25 points per game and 9.8 assists. Like this is a 25, 10 assist guy. Like daily, yeah, the efficiency is a great 43% career efficiency. The only time he's been over 45% was that 2021 season, and the 3-point shot isn't consistent. But so obviously Trae Young comes with his drawbacks, but he's easily one of the best playmakers in the league. He makes passes for that should shock you for a small guard. That's smaller, that has bigger defenders on her. He shouldn't be making. He's amazing. He sets people up in the right place, but when the defense is that bad, it hurts. It hurts. And the Atlanta Hawks couldn't afford to put the right ecosystem around him. The Atlanta Hawks made a lot of mistakes during that time, and a lot of people don't know Trae Young made some mistakes. Trae Young asked for DeJounte Murray. There was a deal to get Derek White to Atlanta, and the deal was basically done, but they put it on pause so they can save those picks for you can go get DeJounte Murray in the offseason because Trae Young rather had DeJounte Murray with them because he wanted an all-star buddy. Those were mistakes. But the Atlanta Hawks, you guys aren't off the hooks either. Y'all traded up and then drafted DeAndre Hunter. That was like a safe pick, but at the time he was not the best player available in that draft. Even with consensus, he was just a very good college player that did the right things, but he wasn't a consensus. The Zach Ricochet video I just dropped about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Like that was bad processing. The After giving John Collins that long extension, giving DeAndre Hunter long extension, and honestly, Salah, since coming in last year and being with the numbers and books with Landry Fields, has helped turn that around and made very good deals in the margin. And now the Atlanta Hawks have some flexibility. We have a Dyson Daniels that's about to be 25 mil next year. We have Jalen Johnson, our all-star star on the rise, star on the rise, superstar on the rise, maybe. He's making 30 mil. You can go out and the options for Atlanta Hawks this offseason that people don't know of. They can go out and maybe if OKC cancels Hardenstein's team option, maybe try to restructure his deal. The Atlanta Hawks can go out and try to send him big money on a 2-year, 3-year, with a team option maybe that he's just not gonna deny. Like the Bruce Brown deal, where Bruce Brown got 40 for 2 years and one had a team option, so it was basically a 1-year deal. But it, it but it gives you the optionality to like now cancel it. But you're giving them so much money for a year that most players are just gonna take it. Most players will be like, wow, 40 mil in 1 year? Give it to me. A Walker Kessler's on a restricted free agent. You can send him big money and see he'll if the team can match it. You feel what I'm saying? So it is interesting. It's very interesting. I don't want to make this video too long. I just want to talk about like things that people are not pointing out in the Trae Young deal. Because like the no picks things, like, oh, you could have got picks. If you wanted picks, Trae Young should have been traded 2 years ago. He should have been traded 2 years ago when his value was the highest it could have been. Like the injuries wasn't stacking up. Yeah, he was still a bad defender 2 years ago, but it wasn't like being exposed in this light because the lower body injuries is making it even worse. There was less point guards. Like De'Aaron Fox didn't go to the Spurs anymore. The Hawks could have got their picks back and sent Trae Young with Wemby a while ago, but they didn't do it. But I understand why they didn't do it at the time. But like you still have to like I feel like I like when organizations do this. I like when organizations take lead and say, yo, this isn't gonna work. Like why are we beating up on the dead hurt horse? We're not the Sacramento Kings. No offense to any franchise, fans that are franchises, but it's the truth. Like there's a lot of teams that beat up on a dead horse. There's a lot of teams that keep on like the Chicago Bulls. Like give it up. Tank. Tanking is good sometimes, guys. We've seen amazing rebuilds. Rebuilding is good. When it's cool to say enough is enough. The Pelicans. But that was all. I appreciate you guys watching this video. I wanted to make this about 10 minutes long. I got to do some editing. Probably bring it down a little bit. I love you guys. Make sure you guys like, comment. Tell me what you think about the Trae Young deal. Tell me what you think about the Atlanta Hawks moving forward. Tell me how you think about Trae Young fit on the Washington Wizards. Maybe I could do that in another video. I just want to go on my thought process as my feelings and analytically from the Hawks standpoint. Because I am a Hawks fan. And I've always said I want to be this channel NBA Hawk centric, but shit, like I got Hawk videos coming out the ass because they got it popping this season on the news. Anyways, I love you guys so much. I might make another video, so if you see me in the same hoodie, I'm not dirty. I am just dropping videos. Bye, guys.